It's the game we've all want to talk about with Nebraska and Colorado. And why not Colorado, you guys? I look. Everybody wants to make a big deal. They're yelling across. I enjoyed that conversation so much last week, the other day, about what they were talking about. But I am a believer. I am a believer. And look, I don't like what Dion said at the end of the press conference to Ed Werder. I don't think Dion understands the media. I think you know what they've done here they're going up against Nebraska, folks. I'm not giving you Colorado to win the national championship. I'm not giving them to win 6 or 7. I'm giving you Colorado to drub Nebraska. Okay, Colorado went on the road and beat TCU. Oh, TCU, they got schlumped in the national championship game. This isn't the same team. Okay, it's not this. Maybe it's some mediocre TCU game that's going to all of a sudden fumble down their way to some 500 record, like they hadn't been good for the last several years anyways, and finally hit that peak moment, their glory moment last year. It sucked that they got crushed. They earned their way to the title game. It was a great accomplishment for TCU to reach that moment. Colorado came in, played that. It was a wild game. We all know what happened. What happened, and they get the win. I'm not a believer, Dion. I'm not a believer. So I don't know how else I can say it. What I am a believer in is the fact that Nebraska's coming to town and Colorado can beat Nebraska. Nebraska, I love to bet against Nebraska. Come on, Matt Rule. I'm a Nebraska fan. I'm telling you guys right now, I'm a Colorado fan. I'm a Nebraska fan. I'm going to like 20 teams this year. I'm going to like half the teams half the time. I don't care. But for Nebraska, come on. Not even Matt Rule can turn this around, right? This team has been the biggest underachieving team over the last 2 decades. I don't know how else. They had some nice performances last year, but against this team, this Colorado team, totally surging right now. Nebraska is going to take care of them here. I think. I'm not even going to give out Nebraska here on the air. I'm going to, I'm Nebraska. I mean, Colorado. You guys probably should start over because I said it all. I've been saying Nebraska for a couple sentences. Colorado, come on. I don't want any part of Nebraska. I'm a Nebraska fan, and I'm such a Nebraska fan that I'm tired of losing a lot of games on the road with poor execution. Matt Rule should change all that, hopefully, but right away, right now, the way Colorado's turned this situation around, it's no fluke. They're a decent team. They can go 500 here. They can go to a bowl. They can finish over 500. They're not going to win the national championship, but I think they will win more than some of their critics might suggest. This is an old rivalry, really, from the Big Eight. These teams played for like 60 straight years, and then they stopped playing because of the way the conferences went down. And, well, we know what went on with Colorado and the Pac-12 and things moving around. But anyways, let's get into it. The Huskers lost that game to Minnesota. Now, they were an underdog. They got the money. But still, they poor execution in close games. I just have a problem with that type of stat as well. Maybe the money line. I don't know. This one's going way over. I don't care about Nebraska having Rule going to bring back the black shirts and Nebraska will be back. They better be. They demand it right now. They had a pretty good game against the Gophers. Gophers had just 251 yards in that game and 55 on the ground. Remember, the Gophers had a great running attack. They lost their great running back, but Sims did a pretty good job, but he threw 3 picks, including that one in the end zone in the end of the first half, remember? And the one in Minnesota territory on a drive that they needed to go down the field. So the Gophers kicked that field goal at the end of the game, and For Colorado, well, you saw nothing. I need to tell you guys, they were 20-point underdogs, right? By the way, so don't forget about that. So they basically overachieved by 23 points in that game. They had 565 yards. When I see record-setting performances by teams that have been around forever, that's a big deal to me. They had 565 yards on the road. We know Sanders had the 510 Colorado record-setting yards, and 4 receivers with 100 yards, including Hunter. Yes, Hunter is going to win the Heisman. If he can get out there for 100 plays, if he can get out there for 100 plays on a 7-5 team, what are you going to do? What are you going to do then? Say he has 5 interceptions and 10 touchdowns. What are you going to do with Travis Hunter? Prime was giving him the Heisman at halftime. So not only did they go on and win that game, that's not even the game they wanted. This is the game they want, of the home game. Sell out the crowd at Folsom Field and ride that Colorado. We know Colorado. They were supporting this team when they sucked. I know because I like Carl Durrell. I'm a Carl Durrell fan. Carl Durrell's my age, a little bit older than me. I've been following him since I was a kid. Did he deserve to get fired? Probably. I'll take the over in this one at 50. It's not 59.5, is it? Okay, it's 59.5. I'm having over regret now, but I am going to go over. The whole time I was talking that spiel, I thought it was 55. I typed the numbers in. Guys, my problem, I got 6 comments on this game. This will be the most talked about game. All right. No, I'm not talking you off Colorado at all, right? I know I kept saying Nebraska in there, but I'm trying to talk you on Colorado. Or I'm talking you off Colorado because all the, not everybody's on Colorado, right? He's got his detractors. I'd say he like Coach Prime. The player is the one that went out and executed, and they executed quite well with a few mistakes, actually. There were a couple glaring mistakes, and the defense is poor. So, thanks, you guys. Oh, that's good. Thank you. Yeah. And the thing about, and we talk about Hunter, right? Wasn't like somebody. Remember, that was the big controversy whatever it was, that Prime was able to recruit him down to Jackson State, taking the 5-star recruit away from the Division I schools. We know this was in the plans for Prime. Maybe not Colorado. Maybe he didn't know. Maybe he thought he could get a Florida State job. And let me say this about Prime's future. You talk about it, and look, I think he enjoys coaching his son. And who knows how bad a team like Arizona could be. We're going to get Shedeur. I think we'll get him for 2 years. That way Prime can – and if Prime can get out of this situation in just 2 years saying, hey, I turned it around, my kids are gone, and a job opens up, maybe an NFL job in 2 years. It would be unprecedented in a way, but sleep on that one a little bit. How about Prime coaching his son in the NFL? He's got assistants. He brought top assistants. It's not like Coach Prime, this guy's the greatest coach in the world, that's why he's turning around Colorado. He's built the whole thing. All right, enough of that. Colorado we talk about ad nauseum, but I want to get my 2 cents worth in on this situation. And I like Colorado. Go Buffs. And I like Nebraska. Can I like both Colorado and Nebraska? Some people say you can't like more than one team. But, I have a soft spot in my heart for Nebraska, and I do want to see Rule turn it around. It's not because of Mindy either. I've got a closet full of Nebraska gear. I've got I think one thing of Colorado, but I like those white jerseys.